Most people live like they're practicing for something bigger. They wait for the right time to start living. But here's the truth. This is it. Life isn't a rehearsal. It's the main event. If you're not intentional, you'll get caught up living someone else's dream, working to fulfill their plan while your own remains unwritten. The system is designed that way. Corporate structures, societal expectations, even family traditions. If you don't take charge, you'll blend into someone else's blueprint. Your dreams, your goals, your inner fire, if not prioritized, fade into the background while you clock in and out of a life designed for someone else. You must interrupt that autopilot. You must ask, whose life am I really living? The minute you stop being passive and start crafting your plan, everything changes. You go from reacting to creating, and creators shape their world. You can tell someone's life plan not by what they say, but by what's on their calendar. Look at your week. How much time do you spend working on your own goals? Most people's schedules are packed with obligations, not purpose. They're available for everything and everyone except their own vision. You need to flip that. A life without planning is a life of distractions. You must carve out time for thinking, building, creating. Otherwise, you become a permanent participant in someone else's schedule. Every hour you don't direct is directed for you. Your life becomes a patchwork of other people's needs. Plan your day or be used by someone else's. Discipline doesn't cage you, it frees you. Put your vision on the calendar. Guard it with your life. People don't lose their dreams because they change their minds. They lose them because they never feed them. A dream unfed is a dream forgotten. If you're not actively building your dream, it begins to decay. Slowly, quietly. And one day you wake up in a life that doesn't feel like yours, wondering how you got there. The answer? You stopped tending your dream. You got distracted. You got comfortable. Or worse, you believed someone who told you it couldn't happen. But dreams require nourishment, time, energy, clarity, and planning. You don't accidentally build a meaningful life. You design it, you sketch it out, you revise it, you protect it. If you don't, someone else will decide your salary, your time, your freedom. And guess what? They'll never pay you enough to forget your dream entirely. That's on purpose. You must choose to feed your dream, or you'll spend your life watching others live theirs. If you sit around waiting for someone to give you permission, to open a door, to grant you a seat at the table, you'll wait forever. Life doesn't work like that. The people who design their life plan don't wait for validation. They build their own tables. They knock on doors until their knuckles bleed, or they kick the door down. You have to stop hoping and start engineering. Do you want to write? Write. Want to launch a business? Start with what you have. Want to escape the 9-to-5? Build after hours. Because if you don't take that first step, life will choose for you, and life's default setting is mediocrity. The path you're walking right now, was it chosen with intention, or are you just following momentum? Be honest, because the answer determines your future. It's not that people are evil, but everyone has an agenda. Your boss has one, your parents have one, even your friends have one. If you're not crystal clear about your own, you will fit into theirs. That's how life works. Someone will always gladly use your time, your energy, your talent to build their vision. And if you let that happen, you'll live a life that looks good on the outside but feels empty on the inside. That's the cost of not designing your own life plan. The world rewire. RD is clarity. It rewards action. If you don't define where you're going, you'll wake up in a destination someone else picked for you. Stop being the passenger. Become the driver. Set your GPS and move. Comfort is a beautiful liar. It convinces you to trade your potential for stability, your passion for a paycheck, your dreams for a daily routine. But here's the catch. Comfort zones are rarely built around your purpose. They're built around systems that keep you where others want you. If you don't disrupt the comfort trap, you'll slowly become a spectator in your own story. You'll keep showing up for a job that drains you. You'll keep smiling at conversations that don't excite you. And worst of all, you'll keep saying, maybe one day, until your days run out. You must break comfort with clarity. When your life plan is strong enough, comfort stops sounding like a good deal. Freedom becomes more attractive than familiarity. So ask yourself, are you living your plan or someone else's script? Most people aren't lazy. They're just unintentional. They're busy, always moving, always doing something. But motion is not progress. You can spend 10 years running on someone else's treadmill and never move an inch toward your dreams. That's accidental living. It's a life where everything just happens. The job happens, the habits happen, the relationships happen, but nothing is designed, nothing is chosen, and that's dangerous because years go by, and suddenly you realize you've built a life you never meant to build. If you don't pause to plan, life will choose your path by default. Don't let that happen. Choose with intention, move with direction, live on purpose, not by accident. The world is quick to assign you roles: worker, follower, assistant, background character, and if you don't have a clear vision for who you want to be, you'll accept those roles without question. Not because you want to, but because you don't know who else to be. That's why designing your life isn't optional, it's essential. When your vision is powerful enough, you stop auditioning for roles in other people. These stories. You write your own script. You cast yourself as the lead. You wake up with purpose instead of permission. You stop settling and start steering. People don't follow the lost, they follow the clear. So get clear, or get cast as someone you're not. Without a personal life plan, everything becomes a distraction. Every new opportunity pulls you. Every new voice sways you. Every minor crisis becomes your emergency. Why? Because you have no filter. Vision acts like a compass. It tells you what to say yes to and what to ignore. Without it, you spend years chasing everything and achieving nothing. You go wide instead of deep. But once you design your life, you stop chasing. You start selecting. You gain clarity, and clarity is a superpower in a noisy world. When your plan is solid, your time is protected, your energy is guarded, and your mind becomes focused like a laser. You stop being busy. You start being effective. People with no plan become masters of excuses. I'm too tired. I'm not ready. What if I fail? These aren't limitations, they're symptoms. Symptoms of a life with no blueprint. When you haven't sat down and drawn your vision, of course it's easy to blame time, money, or age. But once you design your plan, excuses die. Because clarity exposes lies. You start to see that most of what's stopping you isn't real. It's resistance dressed up as logic. When your mission is strong, excuses sound weak. So if you find yourself always explaining why you haven't started, stop talking and start designing. A plan ends procrastination. A purpose destroys hesitation. You don't need better excuses. You need a better vision. Staying comfortable feels safe. It feels familiar. But let's be honest, it's a trap. The comfort zone is where dreams go to die slowly. Why? Because it doesn't require a plan. It just requires routine, predictability, numbness. But real growth only happens outside of that. When you design your life, you're forced to confront your weaknesses. You're forced to stretch, to think ahead, to face discomfort with purpose. That's how transformation happens. Not by waiting in the safety of sameness, but by stepping into a future you intentionally create. You can either live in comfort and drift, or design your life and rise, but you can't do both. Whether you realize it or not, your life is being guided by a plan. It might be your boss's plan, your parents' plan, society's plan, but someone's fingerprints are on your schedule, your habits, your mindset. The question is, whose plan is it? If you haven't written one, don't be surprised when you're stuck in someone else's script. Designing your life isn't just about vision. It's about ownership. It's about reclaiming your narrative and writing every chapter with intention. Because if you're not the author of your life, you're just a character in someone else's. You can't hit a target you can't see. That's why clarity is power. But clarity doesn't come from wishing, dreaming, or hoping. It comes from planning. When you sit down and define what you want, why you want it, and how you'll go after it, everything sharpens. Your focus improves. Your decisions get stronger. You stop second-guessing every move because your life has direction. Vague goals lead to vague actions. But a clear plan leads to consistent progress. If you want power in your life, create clarity. If you want clarity, create a plan. Too many people are reactors. They wait for opportunities. They respond to pressure. They adapt to whatever life throws at them. That's not freedom. That's surrender. When you design your life, you flip the script. Life starts responding to you. Opportunities show up because you're prepared. People respect your boundaries because you set them. Time bends to your system because you've trained it to. This isn't about controlling every detail. It's about becoming the kind of person who doesn't wait for permission, who doesn't drift, who builds. Life isn't something that just happens. It's something you shape. So get up, design it, dominate it. Here's the final truth. If you don't design your life, you will live with regret. Not instantly, not loudly, but quietly, year after year, in the form of unfulfilled potential, unwritten books, unsung songs, dreams you buried to make room for other people's demands. And one day you'll look back and realize it wasn't time or luck or chance that failed you. It was the absence of a plan. Don't let that happen. Your life is a masterpiece in progress, but only if you pick up the brush. Design boldly, dream unapologetically, build with urgency, because this is your one shot and no one else can do it for you. Crowds don't lead, they react. They follow trends, not truths. They chase approval, not purpose. And if you don't design your life plan, you'll be swept up in that current. You'll find yourself chasing what's popular instead of what's right for you. You'll follow trends instead of values. You'll mimic others instead of creating your own path. But leadership begins the moment you decide to take ownership. When you stop waiting for permission and start building your vision, you stop needing the crowd. You lead yourself, and eventually you lead others. Don't follow the crowd. They're lost too. Follow your own roadmap, one you built with intention and clarity. Look at your daily schedule. Who owns your time? Is your calendar filled with your goals, your growth, your priorities? Or is it cluttered with everyone else's demands and distractions? Time is your most valuable asset, and if you don't design how to use it, someone else will. They'll book your hours, drain your energy, and leave you with nothing left for yourself. But once you create your own life plan, your calendar becomes sacred. Every hour has meaning. Every task has direction. You no longer work by reaction. You operate by design. Take back your time, because if your time belongs to them, so does your future. People don't always do it intentionally, but when you're unclear about your direction, they'll fill in the blanks for you. They'll assign you jobs, dump responsibilities on you, give you tasks that serve them, not you. And before long, your life becomes a support system for other people's goals. You're running errands for dreams that aren't even yours. That's what happens when you have no plan. But when you live with purpose, everything changes. You start saying no without guilt. You stop bending to fit into boxes that don't belong to you. Your life becomes a focused force, not a free resource. Want to stop being used? Start living with purpose. Purpose sets boundaries. Plans build protection. Raw potential is like a powerful engine with no map. It has energy, but no direction. And potential without direction leads to regret. You can be talented, passionate, and hardworking, but if you don't know where you're going, you'll waste years on the wrong paths. A blueprint turns that raw energy into results. It channels your potential into strategy. It transforms your gifts into goals, and it gives your life momentum with meaning. Don't just be full of potential. Be full of plans. Be full of systems. Be full of strategy. That's how you build a life that honors what you're truly capable of. No one builds a masterpiece by accident. It's always done by design. You lose your power when you lose your plan. Why? Because power comes from direction, from certainty, from knowing what you want and why you want it. When you have no plan, every setback feels fatal. Every opinion feels like a command. Every challenge feels like the end. But when you've designed your life, obstacles become detours, not dead ends. You face life with boldness because you're not guessing, you're guiding. That's power. And it doesn't come from luck or chance. It comes from intentionality. The more you design, the more control you gain. And when you're in control, you stop surviving and start creating.